Good morning, guys. You're getting a nice view of my double chin this morning because I can't find my stand, so I'm not going to be looking straight up, I'm looking down, so then you get the lovely, chubby chops. Anyway, I wanted to start this video slightly differently to normal because I wanted to talk about social justice and how it relates to neurodiversity, and kind of tell you a little bit of a personal story about me. So firstly, I just want to explain intersectionality because I'm going to be talking about it, and I haven't always known about it. I've learned about it as an adult, so maybe some of you might not know it. So sorry if you already know, I'm going to go through it really, really quick. So intersectionality is basically the suggestion that we have intersections of our kind of identity, and some of those are marginalised by society and some of those are privileged by society. So for example, I am a female with ADHD. Both of those are generally more marginalised than their counterparts, neurotypical and male. But I'm also a white female with ADHD, so being white generally means I am more privileged than the more marginalised minorities, or not necessarily minorities but other races. But it's an intersectionality. We all have our own kind of version of it because we're all different. So that's just a quick explanation. I'll be talking about it later, so I just wanted to make sure everyone knows about it. So I have seen on EHCPs, individual learning plans, individual education plans, diagnosis reports, time and time again, on all of these documents, I see strong sense of justice, thinks, in black and white, very clearly wants to follow the rules. Sorry guys, I had to stop because I had a message. So anyway, back to it. So in all of these documents, we're recording that there is clearly a bit of a link between wanting to follow the rules and having a strong sense of justice and neurodiversity. Now, I think we could probably argue whether that's inherently part of diagnosis and part of the different way our brains work, or we could argue that perhaps we're quite frequently marginalised and suffer injustices, and so we naturally build up a bit of a defence for it. And in my life particularly, I can look back and I can see that I always wanted to stand up for what I thought was right. It didn't matter if you were the grown-up, it didn't matter if you were the person in authority, I would stand up for what I believed was right. Or if I thought someone was being victimised or bullied, that was it, I was involved. And to be honest, it came with a lot of consequences that weren't positive, because I was outspoken, and I think a lot of people don't actually tend to appreciate that, certainly in my culture. But I think it's important that we remember this intersectionality, right? Because when we think about intersectionality, we need to remember that just because we haven't felt that injustice doesn't mean that injustice doesn't exist. It still exists for those people that are in that intersection. About 6 months ago, became really involved with the Palestinian cause, joined a fantastic group called Cate in Solidarity, and we were helping to raise awareness about what's going on in Palestine and what has been going on in Palestine for a very long time. It hasn't just been the last 6 months, it's been a really long time, but I actively became involved 6 months ago. And at the time, I really wanted to start up making YouTube videos about neurodiversity, and it's something that I've been studying for years. I obviously have a lot of lived experience, and so I wanted to do that, but I also wanted to be part of listening to what Palestinians wanted, and they wanted their voices amplified. So I really wanted to dedicate time and effort to sharing the truth of what was happening. And so I kind of naturally, not intentionally, but naturally kept YouTube about neurodiversity and my Instagram about Palestine. But I feel as though perhaps that could come across as not having much integrity, because I'm talking about one thing over here and then I'm talking about one thing over here, and they are related, they are intersections, because ultimately there are neurodiverse people suffering in Palestine right now. And when we think about what's happening and then think about sensory needs, neurodivergent, sorry, I'm choking up a little bit. When we think about neurodivergent individuals in that setting, the intersection of being Palestinian and neurodivergent they are facing an injustice, and so I'm still going to keep them fairly separate, but I just wanted to make a video where I explain why basically I have these two platforms that I'm using very differently. So Instagram, you can go on there and look at my who I'm following to find all the Palestinian journalists and Palestinian activists that are all sharing what's going on if you want to find out more. I also have a petition over there which is about charging the soldiers that are committing these crimes and then returning to the UK without any charges. So that's at about 28,000 signatures now, which is amazing. It needs a lot more for us to be able to do anything with it. So if you feel strongly about justice, please go over there and sign it and share it as widely as you can, because the more people that sign it, the more likely we are to be able to actually act on it. If I'm honest, I feel a bit vulnerable telling people that I know in real life that I've been doing a YouTube channel. So yeah, I'll probably at some point let the Instagram world know that I'm on YouTube, but I'm a bit nervous. I do have some really big ideas. It's been quite difficult because I've got a lot of assignments. I'm doing a university course, so I'm homeschooling. I've got 2 neurodivergent children, and I'm running the YouTube channel, and I really want it to work. I want to keep doing it, but it sometimes it has to go at the bottom of the pile because university and my kids and things like that just come first. So it's not always ideal because I'd love to focus more on my YouTube channel, but it's fine. My priorities are in the right order, so we'll just have to do it as we are. But so I'll have lots of information in the description. I'll have the link to my Instagram and also the petition in the description. And I'm going to crack on with the day now and free Palestine.